So I was thinking last night about all of the people, the extremely strong, extremely zealous, extremely smart, extremely intelligent people that I've known over the years who have come into Christianity and worked really, 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 really super hard at it for years with more zeal and fervor and devotion and smarts and than anybody else I could imagine. And yet, many of those people, they're not in church. They have some measure of faith left. Some it's pretty slim. Right? I myself have had my serious challenges 35 years in. And everything in between. And everything possible on that spectrum. So I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about all of the young people today giving it their all for Christ and God. And I thought about those people and I thought, what's the one thing they need to know? What do they need to know the most? There's a lot of helpful things to know, but there's really one thing that you people need to know the most in order to make it and to be faithful, I guess is the word I'm looking for. To do what the Lord really wants you to do and live how He really wants you to live. One thing out of all the hundreds of thousands of sermons that you will hear, I'm sure you've heard plenty, out of everything it says in the Bible, out of all the books you can read, all the growth plans you can have, all of the zeal you can master, all of the goals that you can set for yourself, out of all of it, of which there's a ton of this stuff, it's one thing that's more important than all those. And I speak from experience. I speak in humility, very much humility, but I do speak from experience, my own, and tons of people around me for 35 years. Here's the one thing. You have to know Jesus personally. That's it. Because He's the heavy lifter. He's the power. He's the source. He's the object of our faith in the first place. He's what we're living for. He's who we're living for. It's Him. You have to know Jesus personally and be in a real, authentic, a real relationship with Him. Not just the Bible, not just church attendance, not just shallow. You have to know Him like you know anybody else, like you have a good friend, like you have a spouse, like you know your parents, like you know your children. You have to know Him and be in an ever-growing relationship with Him. You don't have to know Him perfectly. It's a growth process. That relationship, you grow in the relationship, just like any relationship grows. But that's the master key. That's the one thing that you need. And that's the thing that I've seen that people lack that causes them to fall away. It almost happened to me, right? I'm not any better than anybody else. But He was kind enough to come in and say, hey, psh, 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 dummy, you need to know me, right? Because I knew the Bible. I still know the Bible. I can quote the Bible. But Left, right, and center, upside down, frontwards, backwards. I know the Bible, boy. But he's like, you can read that thing until you're blue in the face, but if you're missing me, this is Jesus speaking, if you're missing him, me, the point of the Bible, because he's the point of the Bible. Him and knowing him and the Father, him and the Father are one, right? So, they are two distinct beings, but they're one in spirit, and there's the Holy Spirit, right? So basically, you love one, you love the others, right? I and the Father are one. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father, right? So they are the point of the Bible. Christ is the point of the Bible. Obviously, God the Father, who is greater than Christ, is love with him is point of the Bible. But they're interchangeable and they're the same. If you have a loving relationship with Christ, then the Father's right there. The Holy Spirit is right there. They're inseparable. Okay, so knowing them and being in love with them is the point of the entire Bible. Okay, and love with others, of course. But the first and greatest commandment is love with him. And where's the only place you can find love? Inside a relationship. That's it. You can't find love anywhere else. Will you obey him in that relationship? Of course. That's just a part of it. Okay? But you have to have the relationship. I've seen people try to just... Anyways. That's the key. Okay? I'm 52. I started zealously at age 19. And I had time as a child, years as a child in Christianity and Christian culture as well. That's why I can say I got 35 years experience. Am I bragging? No. I'm saying this to help you. And I never know who's going to watch this video, right? But I'm talking specifically to young people, Christian people, people of the faith. People don't like labels, right? So whatever, you call yourself a Christian or not. I'm talking about knowing Jesus, knowing Christ, having faith in him, faith in God the Father through him, right? If that's you, no matter what label it wears, you got to know him personally. Thank you and have a nice day.